Quebec government launches maritime strategy. On June 29, the government of Quebec launched the province's first maritime strategy. The strategy covers the 15-year period from 2015 to 2030. The government is anticipating that over that period, public and private investment totaling $9 billion will stimulate the creation of 30,000 direct jobs and significant growth in imports and exports. The strategy includes three five-year action plans. The first, which covered the period from 2015 to 2020, was announced currently with the strategy. It is accompanied by a $1.5 billion financial framework, and many of the measures contained are already set out in the Quebec budget 2015 till 2016. The strategy is underpinned by two core principles: a planned, integrated approach involving the various levels of government and civil society, and a sustainable development perspective. To define its priority initiative, the government has adopted three strategic directions: sustainably develop the maritime economy, protect the maritime territory and its ecosystem, and enhance Quebec's quality of life. In the action plan, these directions are broken down into a series of strategic priorities, which are in turn broken down into priority action and accompanied by a budget envelope. The inevitable interrelationship between the economic, environmental, and social spheres mean that some of these strategic priorities, summarized below according to strategic direction, overlap. Sustainably develop the economy. The government wants to invest in infrastructure. Action will include creating a new program administered by the Ministry of Transportation to support port and intermodal infrastructure projects in the freight transportation sector. Also, financial support will be provided for the construction of access roadways to port and intermodal sites. Infrastructure design will have to incorporate measures to adapt to climate change. Consequently, the government intends to review the areas of the Lawrence River that are prone to flooding. The government plans to promote the establishment of logistical hubs, multimodal industrial parks that cluster together business and distribution centers. Federal Solange and Contrecoeur are proposed as hub sites because they are well positioned and complementary. The development of industrial port zone, which should promote better integration of manufacturing firms into global supply chain, is also an integral part of the strategic priorities. Planned action include decontaminating land under the government's responsibility in order to make it available for investment in such zone. The government also plans to support Quebec shipyard through action, including the introduction of tax measures, additional capital cost allowance of 50% for shipbuilding or renovation carried out by Quebec shipyard, a tax-free reserve for Quebec shipyard, and maintaining the refundable tax credit for the construction or refitting of ships, and cooperation with the federal government in renewing the Canadian ship fleet. The development of short sea shipping and the use of maritime transport to ship alternative energy sources, including liquefied natural gas, will also be encouraged. In addition, the government plans to promote the development and modernization of maritime tourism by, among other things, creating a maritime tourism supply office, funding reception facilities in Quebec City and Montreal for international cruises, and funding tourism projects on the shores of the Lawrence River. The strategy also includes plan to modernize and ensure the long-term survival of the fishing and aquaculture industry by focusing on three development areas: marine, biotechnology, aquaculture, and sustainable fishing. The government plans to support the effort to fishing fleet seeking environmental certification, extend and enhance the refundable tax credit for the Gaspésie and certain maritime region of Quebec, and maintain measures to encourage the next generation of workers, such as capital gains exemption and the program for young fishermen and fisherwomen. To meet workforce challenges, the government intends to set up an issue table to better match employers' need and available training and support workforce skill development. New type of training will be introduced in promising sector, marine biotechnology, logistics and applied research, and initial training will be adapted to include new health, safety, and environmental protection requirements. Other planned action include establishing a vocational study program in seamanship and enhancing the tax credit for an on-the-job training period. Lastly, an assessment will be made of various measures designed to promote the maritime trade. To foster the development of knowledge in the maritime sector, the government intends to create the Regio Quebec Maritime (RQM), a network bringing together existing research and development structure and expertise for the purpose of addressing maritime issues. Moreover, international cooperation will be promoted through, among other things, the establishment of a French Quebec Institute on Maritime Matters. Lastly, the government plans to promote Quebec maritime industries internationally through Export Quebec program exportation and by developing a strategy to attract direct foreign investment to Quebec. Protect the maritime territory and its ecosystem. To protect the biodiversity of freshwater and seawater ecosystem, the government wants to create a representative network of marine protected areas by increasing the protected marine area from 1.3% today to 10% in 2020 in order to meet international commitment under the Convention on Biological Diversity. This action is to be carried out in conjunction with the federal government under the Canada-Quebec deliberation of the bilateral group on marine protected areas. Places where marine protected areas could be created include the Îles de la Madeleine and the American Bank in the Gaspésie. Factors considered in creating marine protected areas will include the habitats of plant and animal species at risk such as the beluga. Action to restore and ensure the sustainability of fishing in Lake St. Pierre will also be supported. Lastly, adequate response capabilities will have to be structured to counter threats posed by invasive aquatic species, which will require the cooperation of several stakeholders, a knowledge acquisition effort, and prevention, early detection, and eradication measures. Thank you.